Hello, Winter Lakes families, families of ninth grade students. So this is the information from our very first parent night. And so I'll just go through this information. And if you, of course, if you have questions, you have any comments, you have any concerns, definitely you want to talk to me. I'm Miss Lisa Trottier. I am the ninth grade learning specialist, also Dean of Students at Winter Lakes High School. So we will have more of these family nights. And one of the goals of the family night is to connect families together who live in a similar area. So for example, if we had some North Bend Coos Bay families who wanted to get together and support each other, you could choose to come to the family nights and maybe try to connect with some people so that the ninth grade students can just start helping each other. The more support we have, the better. And so I want you to think about how has the year been going. A lot of people are going to say, it's kind of a struggle. I personally am struggling. My own student is doing online for the first time. And so I understand how things are going. And at Winter Lakes, we're here to help support you as a family, not just the student. So I want to go over why I'm really pushing this on track thing. I keep mentioning ninth grade on track, ninth grade on track. Well, the reason for this is that students who are on track to graduate in 4 years after their freshman year usually complete. But if they don't, they're about 16 times more likely to drop out. And so this is dropout prevention. We know that life happens, and that's what Winter Lakes is designed around, is to help students if they happen to kind of fall off the being on track. But for ninth grade, you're starting with a clean slate, we're earning credits, and we're just trying to get you through to get that strong foundation. And so here's what credits are like for the ninth grade class. And so to be on track to graduate in 4 years, a student needs to earn 18 credits. So 18 credits, and that's just for the 1 year. And 18 credits, the way this works out is we do this Quarks system. I'll get to that in just a moment. But that is 900 Quarks. Now, students can earn Quarks through doing Odysseyware. They can get Quarks through doing packets of work. They can get Quarks by doing extracurricular activities. There's a lot of ways to earn Quarks. Our Odysseyware is our main one. So by the end of the first trimester, a student should have about 300 Quarks. The end of the first trimester is December 4th. Now, we started school a little bit later. So if your student is close to that, then that's fantastic. If they're not even close to that, then we can meet and we can come up with a plan so that they can get back on track. And we don't cut grades off at the trimester. We just say, oh, well, here's where you are. Here's where you should be. Keep working. Keep making progress. That's what we're all about, is continual progress for students. So end of second trimester, that is more, I don't even have the date on that one, but I'll get that out to you. Another 300 Quarks, and then another 300 Quarks by the end of the school year. So that's 900 Quarks total. So Quarks, oh, good times. It took me a while to understand Quarks. So if you're kind of in that fuzzy range, that is what I'm going to present to you here, in that a Quark is just a piece. It's a piece of the larger credit. So if we look at this blue circle as being a credit, and a Quark is just a piece of it. And so when students earned 50 Quarks in an area, so if it's English, let's just say they did some Odysseyware, they did a book report, they did some creative writing, so that can all go into that English credit. Also, we have PE. We have a lot of opportunities for students to earn these Quarks, and then we just combine them all together in the same category for credits. And so what can you do? So you're a parent, you're like, how can I get my kid to stay on track? Well, that's, of course, the answer. If you have an answer for that, 100%, let me know. But I do have some suggestions for you. Doing a to-do list every single day that they are working on their courses. Help them set goals. Try to be specific. Like, here's one: finish 2 lessons in English with an 80%. If you want if your student's like, yep, I'm going to try for the 80 or 90, great. 70% is our passing. That's our threshold. If you feel like that is too high for your student, you can communicate with us. Some students do have a lower threshold, but that definitely needs to be a conversation. Check in with them, see how they did. How are you doing? I know that question is like, how are you doing? They're like, oh, fine, I'm fine, everything is fine. Everything is going to be okay, but you need to know how they're doing personally too. Sit down with them while they go through a lesson. If they're going through this lesson, just have them show you how it works. If they're not quite sure how it works, maybe help them figure that out. This one right here with online schooling, a lot of people forget, is provide notebooks and pencils for your student to take notes. So the brain-hand connection is really important. Students can learn more if they are actually writing things down. They're going to remember more. They also can use those notes when they answer the lesson questions and when they take quizzes and when they take their exams. If it's their own notes, that's not cheating. They were doing the learning themselves. So I highly recommend that. And this is a tough one. And I wrote this because it's something that I, as a parent, really struggle with sometimes, because I come at my kid, did you do your schoolwork today? What'd you get done? Why aren't all these things done? And so I have to remind myself to be like, oh, let's not try to judge how they did. Say, tell me what did you accomplish today? Tell me what you're proud of today. Sometimes we jump to that, hey, just get the stuff done, right? Also believe in your student. Every student can achieve. And we believe it at Winter Lakes. We're going to take a student wherever they are, whatever level they are, and we're going to raise up that level and help them get to where they want to be. If your student is struggling or you think that they need some help them reach out to teachers. I mean, we say, oh, we're here, log into office hours, come get help. But that's not necessarily a skill that every student has, to be able to pick up the phone, to log into a meeting and ask for help. Just because in their minds, I don't want to sound dumb. Oh, and I'm sometimes, as an adult, I'm like, I don't want to ask the question because then they're going to know that I don't know anything. But that's what we're literally here for. That's why we're getting the paycheck, is because we are here to help. And so make sure, make us earn our dollars. And another idea, so we had one parent who is using SWOC. She found out that there are free tutors at SWOC for high school age students. I'm going to get that link. And if you have any other ideas about how families can help their students, let me know, and I will share that out with our group. Progress reports. Yay, every 2 weeks, you're getting a progress report. And so where students should be in their courses, the progress should be in the 30s. Now, I have a lot of students who aren't there, and I have some students who've surpassed that. So we're not saying you have to 100% be in the 30s by the end of the trimester. We're saying to be on track to graduate in 4 years, this is where you should be. And I'll talk to you about what you can do to get your student back on track if they happen to be off. But this is what you should be looking at. You should be saying, oh, okay, we're going to be about a third of the way through, so we should be about in the 30s. When you see these numbers here, this is the Quarks. 15 Quarks for every 1 unit in Odysseyware. Students can earn Quarks for a lot of things, and I'll go through that in just a second. But in Odysseyware, so this student did 2 units. That's 15 Quarks times 2. That'll be 30. If you see zeros, that means they did not finish the unit. Doesn't mean they didn't do work. It just means they did not finish the unit. So when you see these little bubbles, what you're looking for is the top one here is the 2-week period, just the 2 weeks. Did they do enough? Did they reach their 60 quark minimum? That's what we're striving for. If they get, they get 45, 50 quarks, they're still getting close, but we want them to be in the green. Here, though, down at the very bottom of the progress report, it is going to show you how many quarks the student has for the entire year. Okay, how many quarks have they accumulated? We want students to be in this green area. We want them to be 300 quarks by the end of the first trimester. That's the goal, but that doesn't mean that they can't just keep working. So if they're kind of in the red and orange, that means, well, you're not on track, but that doesn't mean that you can't get back on track. So at the bottom of the page is the quarks for the entire school year. So I want to talk about core classes: English, math, science, and social studies. 4. Students love electives. They love their health. They love their keyboarding. Those are classes they can quickly go through. But you want to make sure that your student is still making progress in the core. If they're not, have them focus on it a little bit more. So a student should have a credit in English, a credit in math, a credit in science, and a credit in social studies by the first trimester. They should have 3 by the end of the school year in June. Now, we do have a lot of students who just aren't quite making that yet, but we still have another month to go. So keep them focused and keep them working. So quarks for electives. Students are required to take health. They are required to take PE. We have PE logs in the Google Classroom for the 9th grade. Students can take health as a class if they don't have it already. They can join the art class. It is online. We also have some opportunities for students to come into campus to do art. We have video production. We have a teacher who has his own YouTube channel. He's created a YouTube channel for Winter Lakes High School where he checks all the students' work before posting them. But it's a way to help students understand, higher level of video production. We also have Spanish and French. These are our language courses. A lot of students who want to go to 4-year universities are going to need 2 years of a foreign language. So you want to be thinking about that. We do have a drama class. Also, we have creative writing for those 10th grade and above. If you think that your student is kind of advanced in the English department, then we can actually add them to that creative writing. But definitely check in with me. It's not an automatic. If your student has a job or they do volunteer work, I am the teacher of record for our work experience and internships. We can get very creative with the job portion. If you do something at home, like for example, we had one family who they trade plants with others and they ship them out, they sell plants. And so that was a really interesting thing that they brought up. And she's like, well, my kid helps me with this. Well, that's agriculture, because they're growing the carnivorous plants, kind of a cool thing, and pitcher plants. And so I think that's something, if you do that as a family, great. Let's log it and let's get your students some quarks for it. We also have on-campus and online cosmetology, and we have construction. We also have simulators for heavy equipment. Your student can be a part of that. Let me know if you would like to schedule them for some on-campus work in that. We do have to schedule students, and they can only be on campus for no more than 2 hours. So just let me know. I do want to just bring up different types of diplomas. There are 2, well, there's more than 2, but we often don't talk about modified diploma until we really know how a student is going to do their freshman year. But what it does is a modified diploma is it changes the requirements for a diploma. Students still get a diploma. It's your traditional or your standard diploma. But what it does is it gives actually students more elective credits and it reduces the English and the math credits that a student needs. Also, the level of math. So if your student happens to be struggling with getting to Algebra 1, because credits go from Algebra 1 and up, or they can also be lateral. So Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, or Algebra 1, and I'm not quite sure what the other math are, but there are some other math. So that's a future conversation. I just wanted to bring it to you and let you know that students need 12 credits in English. That is 4 years of English. They need nine credits in math, and that is 3 years. They need 9 credits of science. They need 3 credits of life science, 3 of physical, and 3, it can be any kind of science. However, 6 of them must include a lab. So that's why students have to do projects, because that's part of their lab credit. 9 credits of social studies, 3 credits of PE. That's a full year of PE. 3 credits of health. Again, that's a full year. That can happen in the 4 years, anytime in the 4 years. They need 9 credits of a second language or the arts, career, technical education. And then 24 is for electives, and this can range from creative writing, it can be an internship, it can be, it just goes on. The list actually is pretty massive. Whatever your student is interested in, we can definitely get them Quarks for that. And so that totals up to 72. If you'll notice, both diplomas, they require 72 credits. It's just the distribution of those credits is a little bit different. So we have a lot of opportunities for a student to get back on track. Okay, so I keep saying, let's get on track, let's get on track. But they're making these first steps. They're making the steps in the right direction. Students can come to campus. Because of the pandemic, we do have to schedule them. So that takes a little bit more effort for us to get them on the schedule, for you to get them there, or if they need a bus, if they're in the Coquille School District. We do have teachers available online Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and I'll get that SWOC resource hopefully sent out soon. OdysseyWare is available every single day, Monday through Sunday, every day of the week. So students can actually do some more school, not just Monday through Thursday when a teacher is available. They can work on Fridays, they can work on Saturdays, they can work on Sundays. Also, holidays. I've been doing the online schooling for quite some time, and I usually get excited around the holidays and encourage students to, hey, get caught up. They can get ahead, so they have a little bit more breathing room. We have a lot of students who they're like, I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going with school. We also have a summer school. So if your student is behind in credits, then we do offer this summer school. So especially for 9th graders, we want them to be on track because it's really important for them to do that. And also, I just want to value you as family members. Your love for your child and your willingness to share your time and to be there for them, that has the biggest impact. Okay, we are here to support families. We are here to guide families. But ultimately, it is the family's decision of how your student is going to be educated and the kinds of supports that you're going to reach out and get. And we're here to cooperate with the family and to get your student to the highest level of academics that you want them to be. So at Winter Lakes, we are taking kids wherever they are, and we're taking them to the highest level that they can go to. So I am Lisa Trottier. I am the 9th grade On Track Learning Specialist. And if you need any assistance, you have questions about this family presentation, please let me know. I will try to have these every single month. We had one family show up, so I'm like, you got to take that first step. So thank you so much for watching this recording. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your students, and I appreciate what you do for your students. Have a great day or evening wherever you're watching this. Bye-bye.